I figured I'd make some content for the tube here because people do tell me they watch my shit and they enjoy it. So what I've done last night I started and got finished today is the shocks on this thing. This son of a bitch with no shocks. I'm kind of annoyed to say that I've hit my head on the roof a few times too many trying to follow people that are going too fast on the mud park. So now maybe that won't happen. So cool. I had to come in and add these on the bottom because there was nowhere for this thing to call home down here. Built shock hoops and then mounted it up there. So I had to build everything for the back. And then I did just do an exhaust system on this. The old shit was ugly and sounded like shit. And surprisingly, this actually sounds perfect. Like I wouldn't mind it being a little poppier because it'd be funny, but I mean, hey, whatever. So he said this side's done. Same thing over here, you know, like I had to build this one. I had to offset it. It annoyed me because I got this track bar right here because otherwise it would have looked like this one, which is, you know, exactly where I want it. But this side I got lucky and it did have shock mounts on the bottom that I was able to utilize, and that made me happy. So from there, I did get my India made fender extensions. I'm gonna mess with those later. But right now, what I'm doing, and if there's any idea for any of you guys that go to do studs in a Toyota differential, these are the studs that I'm screwing in from the inside here. Inside out, boom. These are the ones that screw in from the outside. This is the latest one. So I was working these in here, and it's kind of a pain because you can't really get much of a tool in there, and the tools you could get in there I don't have. So I finally had a genius moment and I realized I have a tap set. So I tapped all these and like they're just screwing in all the way from behind and then tighten it down and I'm good to go. So far so good on that because unfortunately I did all this shit up front. I did brand new Burfield axles that are, show gear, long field axles. And I did all that. That was a pain because when you get the Burfield in, you have to get, you know, it's got the round Burfield piece. You have to get it where it's trying to be there, put a pry bar on top, pry it this way while also pushing down so it'll get that axle tube, the actual axle to pick up to get into the carrier in here. This side is 30 inches, so you have to work even harder. Finally got that in. Cool, right? Yeah. Well, this side over here, I want to take it for a test drive, and that was not doing shit. And I did leave the locking hubs on it for now, just in case. I needed to unlock it in case it needed a free spin. I go out, it would not move. This guy takes a shit, and this thing was new. Like the guy that I got it from installed a ring and pinion in the carrier, gave it to me when I bought it. It took a shit. So this wasn't doing shit. I have some guy I meet on the trail, he pulls me back, and I get in here and look at it. This thing, I mean, this thing was just, you know, rattling. It was jacked. So whatever. So my buddy tells me, hey man, get that thing out there. I'll fix the rear diff at the mud park tomorrow. It was Friday. And I said, okay. So I go ahead and I switch out the hubs for the stuff I originally got just to check it because I could spin this side and it would do stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was spinning the front right there. You see it? See how this side's trying to move. But this side, when I spun it, wasn't doing shit. So I said, I wonder if this locking hub's just bad. So I went ahead and installed these guys, which this is called a drive flange instead of a locking hub. So it directly ties the CV shaft to your spindle. So you're moving all the time. Like this is always getting power. That's always getting power. Or if you're not engaged in four-wheel drive, both of these are turning the ring and pinion, which this doesn't do 50 down the freeway or none of that shit. And even if it did, it wouldn't do it for long if I ever got around to it. Unfortunately, I have to replace all these loose tie rod ends if I want to do that because, you know, it's at 55, they start dancing because these solid rod ends are just wore out. Sand and mud does its job on these. Said cool. All right, so I come over here, put the other one in, and unfortunately, these aren't, you can just put them in because it's got a, let's see if this other side probably got more light. You've got two studs that hang out, which was this guy and this guy that hang on factory. Well, it comes with a drill bit to drill out the other 4, or if you don't have those, you drill out all 6, and you put these little guys in, and then this sits over it and gives it extra holding power, so it's not just these 6 studs here. These studs have cone washers, so they're a little bit of an annoying pain in the ass to get off, but a little bit of heat and patience usually works, whatever. So got all that on, cool. And that's whenever the guy, my buddy, said, hey man, bring it to the mud park, whatever. I go to move this thing and it's shanking and clattering. I'm like, okay, I know my diff's good. It's no doubt in my mind. But this guy up here, which I went and picked up a spare yesterday and I ordered all the parts, do the same thing. But this guy right here is just, I mean, it's toasty. Like it moves, it bangs, it pops. So we're gonna rebuild the second one that I got. This one, I think it's just this output shaft. We'll open it up and double check, but I think the bearing and if it's got the non-HD output shaft, that's the issue, because it's thin where when you lock into full drive, it can pop out of that, and it's kind of what this was doing. And the other one it's like twice as thick or more, so it really can't jump out too easy. So either way, I'm gonna have a spare good case ready to go. Should something happen to one, boom, fix it. Which it sucks because I'm spending money I don't want to spend on all this shit, but whatever. So here we are, and I'm also going to weld in some of these once I get this back together, set it down, see where it sits. This pinion has been sitting up, so this, you know, coming out and then down is not where it should be. It should be, you know, a little low, you know, and that's going to also help this drop down to make sure I'm getting more lubrication to that front ring and pinion, the pinion bearing. So we'll see how that goes. Like, this is a lot of progress this week, and I discovered that the fan switch, some ding dong ran power straight to it. So of course the switch got burned up. So I'm going to put a new switch in it, run it to an almighty relay like you're supposed to, and then hopefully that will be all good. So that's where I'm at on this thing. Hopefully I'll get it going again, at least be able to two-wheel drive through some shit and maybe get some footage. You know, it's I'm really, really loving how well this thing just looks and does its job. And I'm just trying to get it 100% reliable and ride good. And every week I'm doing a ton of shit, but at some point I would like to stop and just enjoy it and be able to work on the abomination outside, because that one's going to be insane. So stay tuned, kids.